Well, good Wednesday afternoon, the 11th of January, our first time back in the studio after the Christmas break. It's time for Tiffany University Swimming and Diving Chats. Coach Noah Moran in studio with us. Coach, how are we doing today?
Doing well, Ross. How are you?
I am doing excellent. You have a couple student athletes with you. We're going to bring in 2 student athletes, send them on their way, get them in, get them out, because I'm sure they really don't want to be here all that much.
Yeah, and then get ready for practice. So yeah, I'm certain they don't want to be here.
All right, and then we'll come back with a couple more student athletes. Why don't you go and introduce the young man we have with us right now?
Sure. So to my right immediately is Mr. James Keene. This is his first time on the Dragon Radio Show. So
welcome, James.
I'm certainly thrilled.
And, sure. Sounds like it.
And then Matt Campbell, he's been here once or twice before, so...
Yeah, I apologize. I recognize your face, Matt. I didn't have the name to put right to the face when you first came in, so I apologize for that. But welcome in, guys. Thanks for being a part of the program.
Matt Keene kind of confuses everybody.
Yeah, I had first names with I'm glad we didn't get middle names involved. I've had all kinds of screwed up. But yeah, we had first names, we had last names, we had all mixed up. But you guys are here, and that's what's important. And well, let's talk a little bit about everything here, Coach. Break just finished up, and we talked before break. It's important and also kind of difficult because the kids go home, they get the big meals, you get to be with your friends, your family, you're picking sweets, and you're doing this and that all day. But I'm sure your kids came back ready to rock and roll and get right back at it. Was that the case?
I hope so. I'm not certain that I'd say 100% that they were ready to go, but I think for the most part we kind of, I won't say we eased our way back into it, but we were back to, what I would consider a normal training period. I have to say, so far this week, actually, Monday was a very pleasantly surprising, great practice for us. I would argue that was probably one of our better practices ever as a program.
Awesome.
Yesterday, I think we kind of continued that even through the dry land, which I know was tough and tiring and not what they really expected. But they did a really good job, fighting through all that stuff too. So we'll see what today brings, but I'm pretty happy with where we are right now.
Is that a tough practice, guys, when you get back from break after just to kind of get back in the swing of things? I know you probably tried to get in the pool as few times as if you could over break, but that first practice when you get back is a little bit difficult to get back in the swing of things, or is it everything just kind of status quo?
I was lucky enough to catch bronchitis as soon as I got back in.
You were lucky enough to catch bronchitis.
Yeah, so I started off great on the way back. So now I was only in for a day and then had to sit out 3 days in a row, and then getting back in Monday was kind of difficult, so now I'm trying to get back into it.
I was going to say, it's tough enough if you come back healthy, just the fact of getting back into the athletic frame of mind, but if you're dealing with something like that, it's going to make it almost excruciatingly difficult, probably feeling a little better right now, obviously.
Oh, yeah, a lot better.
So you look like you're feeling okay. Yeah, that's a big key. You kind of need to breathe when you're swimming. All right, how about you, sir? How about was that first time back in the pool a difficult one, or was you ready to go when you got here?
Yeah, it was difficult. It's always difficult whenever you're the first time back in the pool, but if you stay practicing over break and stay conditioned and stuff like that and don't take too much time off, you should be fine. But whenever you start to take more of a break, that's when it gets a little bit harder to get back into the pool.
Yeah, it's just like anything. Just like it's
preaching to the choir.
It's not only the athletics, but I guess the schooling part of it too.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of a curve getting back into it, and you get back into the schooling stuff as well. Mm-hmm. All right, James, let's talk about your break. Well, first of all, where are you from, man?
I'm from Union City, Ohio. It's a little town in Ohio.
And Indiana.
And Indiana. I'm both half
straddles the border.
All right.
But I'm a backstroker here, a IM or two. I'm a sophomore. I study sports marketing. I don't know what else to say.
Did you have a good break? Did you have be able to go home and spend a lot of time with family, friends, all that good stuff?
Yeah, it was fun. It was relieving. It's nice to get a little break from the gruesome training of Christmas break that it is.
Kind of recharge your batteries a little bit, that kind of thing.
Have a little family time and some time to reflect and realize why you're still doing what you're still doing.
And here I thought I was family.
Yeah. Well, you reflected on why you're still doing it and why you're doing it, and you decided to keep doing it. So I guess that's a good thing.
Of course, yeah. Yeah.
All right, how about you, Matt? I know we've got the personal information from you before. We'll go ahead and remind the folks what year you are, where you're from, and tell us a little bit about your break if you had a good time.
I'm a senior. I'm from East Liverpool, Ohio, so other side of Ohio. I had a pretty decent break. I went home for a week, got to do some stuff, and I got to fly out to Arizona and hang out with my girlfriend's family and swim for the club team out there. Which getting to swim outside was kind of cool. So.
Oh, I'm sure you're probably one of the few. You didn't swim outside, did you? Over break.
No, that wouldn't be a good idea.
No.
It's only 50 degrees out. The pool was heated.
Well, still, yeah, 50
right.
degrees to us in Ohio right now. We might have that temperature in a few days.
Yeah, well, today I think
Sounds like spring break almost, doesn't it? All right, how about you, Coach? You have a good break yourself? You do anything good to see his family or anything?
No real complaints, just kind of the normal stuff, just day-to-day stuff. Looking over a lot of the stuff that we do for training, seeing what I wanted to do coming up, made some adjustments.
I was going to ask, do you take that time to kind of look back at what the kids have been doing so far in the fall and how you've been training them, and then kind of adjust everything for the start of the semester?
Very much so. One of the things that we're going to do is next week we'll have our individual meetings where I'll sit down and actually talk with everybody, and we'll go over what the rest of the year really is going to mean for them. What we're going to be doing training, when they're going to really start preparing for the GLIAC meet by cutting back on the yardage, cutting back on the dry land work, really just trying to fine tune it and individualize it as much as possible for them. So,
be at your best when you need to be at your best.
Yeah, so that's a lot of what I spent my time doing. Just kind of going over and really seeing if what I felt like we were doing was working.
We got 3 meets coming up this month, I believe, if I'm right. On the 13th at Edinburgh, and then on the 20th at home against Finley.
Yeah.
We'll be there for that one.
Yeah,
we're going to broadcast from that one. So I don't know if we'll be able to do live video streaming. I got to talk to the folks out the Y and make sure I get a hard line. But if we can do live video streaming, we'll do live video streaming that night. But if nothing else, we'll do a radio broadcast to keep the folks up to date on the results and things like that. But I imagine we'll be able to do a video. We'll get that worked out. Yeah. And then you have another one with a couple schools at the day after the Finley one. Let's talk about Edinburgh. That's next one's coming up. After that, we can talk about the Finley one in the week between. But talk about Edinburgh, what you're expecting out of your kids. That's coming up on January 13th, which is just a couple days away.
Yeah, this is going to be a really interesting meet for us. Our guys are in a little better position than our women right now. We just don't have the bodies on the women's side, but that's a process that we're working on. Mm-hmm. But on the guys' side, I think it'll be pretty interesting. They've kind of surprised me, I think, a little bit. Every time we've gotten in the water for a meet, some people had better swims, some people were about where I thought they were, but I don't think anybody was ever where I didn't think that they should be, or not where I didn't think that they could be. So I was really happy about that. This is going to be, I think, a little bit different because it's a Friday night. We haven't had too many of these meets. This is going to be a team that I think is going to be ready.
We have back-to-back Friday nights.
Yeah.
So you just have one to kind of get you prepared for the following week.
Yeah, and again, this all kind of translates into the GLIAC conference meet. Where we're going in there. Competition starts on Wednesday, and that's a different.
You're officially within a month of that now, right?
Yes, 28 days today. So the guys got to get ready.
Yeah.
But I think the guys' meet will be a good meet. I think on the women's side we'll struggle a little bit, but I still think that we'll have some pretty good swims. I mean, talking about the paces and stuff like that for practice already this week, I think they've actually chosen some fairly challenging times to try to hit.
All right, James, let's start with you, but let's talk about what some of your expectations are, not only for the meet at Edinburgh coming up in a couple of days, but for the rest of this season, the rest of the spring. Talk a little bit about your expectations on yourself.
Well, for the meet at Edinburgh this weekend, I will imagine that I'm probably swimming the 200 backstroke because we're swimming the 200 events, and I'm one of the main backstrokers on the team. So for that,
no head shake from Coach, so I'm assuming that's the case.
Yeah. So for that, I just want to get in there and have a comfortable race. Like get into my rhythm and try to figure something out. Like try to go under 2 minutes at least, because
is the most important factor of that you getting into that rhythm that you spoke of?
Yeah, it's a lot about finding a rhythm
for James, very much so. He really, when he hits the right rhythm, when he hits the right tempo and it hits that groove, I mean, he's dead on. When he's a little bit off and doesn't quite feel right, then he kind of lets other things kind of dictate what's going to happen.
And I'm sure you can see that from outside of the water. Can you feel that and notice that when you're in the water that you maybe you're a little out of rhythm? And on the flip side of that, do you notice when, oh, wait, boom, I got that rhythm now? Can you tell when you're in the water?
Sometimes I can, and sometimes I can't. I guess it's just
and that's what
every race is different.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like it's even honestly sometimes at conference or like whenever I'm supposed to be best, I won't even feel like I'm going that fast. But that's like my best time. So and then there's some times where I'm at
Because you had that rhythm.
Yeah, and I'll be going. I think I'll be going fast, but I'm going pretty slow. So
And sometimes you probably think you're going fast. You're probably
Yeah.
working harder than what you need to, and actually slowing yourself down. Listen, I sound like a swimming diving coach. I've been around you so long, coach.
Don't need to be around. You guys have
I can work another job. All right, cool. all right, Matt. How about yourself? What's your expectations? What do you think you'll be competing in? Are you going to be well enough to compete on Friday?
Yeah, I'll be fine to compete. I just don't know if I'll be at my 100%
Sure.
level.
So in that situation, is it more about concentrating on your fundamentals, make sure that you do that because, like you said, you're not going to be at your top physical performance levels, so might as well make sure that you get those, I guess, the repetitions of the fundamentals.
Recently I felt pretty, not exactly weak, but like really out of rhythm. Like I feel like I've been beating up the water, so I'm hoping that I can fix that the next couple of days so that I can at least have the technique down to swim better. If I'm not going to be able to swim at my best, at least swim good.
I like that terminology. I feel like you're beating up the water instead of making a smooth transition with your arms and whatnot into the water. But so you think you will be competing this Friday?
Yeah, I'm just hoping to pick up a few points in whatever I do. I'm straying away from the 200 breaststroke if our number one breaststroker isn't doing it. But if I have to do it, I'll do what I can. Hopefully pick up something.
So whatever you can do to help the team out this weekend, because you know you're not going to be at your optimal best. It's good to have teammates like that, Coach, because sometimes not everybody is at their optimal best. Sickness can get you, anything can get you, and physical ailments, whatever it is, and whatever you can do to push through to sneak a point here, point there, will always just help out the team.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I appreciate about what Matt's doing. I mean, I know he doesn't feel very well, and particularly, the beating up on the water. Those were sets that, particularly when you're not feeling very well, that's what you got to do. And he still, tried to do that. He still went through it, and we got to try to clean that up. But I appreciate the fact that that's his mindset, trying to do what he's got to do to not only make himself better, but allow the team to be better.
Because it's a team sport that's based largely on individual effort.
Yep.
So it'd be real easy to concentrate on that individual aspect and then put the me before the team, but kind of put the me and the team together, I guess, up there at the top and make it all kind of work as a cohesive unit.
It's amazing, right? I mean, what Russ says and does.
It's all
Another job.
Yeah, it's just all cliche. It's all stuff that I've heard from.
I heard assistant coach.
There you go. I've heard this, that, and the other from all these different coaches doing these interviews. It kind of melds together because it doesn't matter what your sport is across the board. It's coaching young people and getting the best out of you can. All these young people to create a great team.
Yeah.
All right, guys. What's we heard from Matt on this before, but James, what's your plans after you're done here at Tiffany University?
Well,
If you could do anything in the world.
I honestly don't know at this point in time. There's a lot of opportunities for me. I can
Go to grad school and work at WTUD for 2 years and get an internship.
There you go. Put that plug in now.
Might as well.
I can always go to grad school and pursue more education, get better degrees and stuff like that. I could always go back home and help work with my dad because he owns a body shop back at home. And
Well, it's a skill you have as well. You can do that.
yeah, I can
awesome.
do that stuff. And then I can also try to pursue a career in coaching or something like that because I've always wanted to do something like that. I mean, the doors are wide open. I don't really know what exactly I want to do right now with my life and career, but we'll figure that out sooner or later.
Both of you guys, I would assume, agree with this, and coach as well. I mean, you guys are in a sport, a discipline where that's something you can take with you the rest of your life. Whether you don't have to be coaching, you go keep yourself in a pool, you go keep yourself in pretty decent shape, and that's a step ahead of all the other guys like me that take what they have around their waist. Yeah, I hear you. All right, Coach. Anything more for these two young men before we let them go and bring our other two student athletes in?
No, I think we're all set. We'll just I'll say see you guys in the water here in about 45 minutes or so, and we're good to go.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for your time. Best of luck on Friday, and make sure you tell all your family members and your friends that we'll be there on the 20th as well. That's a 6 o'clock one. This Friday is at 5 o'clock. But thank you guys so much, and we'll let you guys get out here. We'll bring the other two and have fun to practice today.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, thanks, guys. That's a great attitude, Coach, that young men can have. There are, like Matt was saying, he's a little bit under the weather, but knows he's not going to be able to get all the points he probably could at his individual best. But the fact that you can try to grab a point or two here and there to help your teammates out is a great goal to have.
Yeah, again, I'm thrilled with kind of where we're moving as a program. We're just making, maybe not huge leaps right now, but we are making steps forward. We are progressing in a positive way. So having guys like that, having everybody who understands that that's what we're trying to do, really helps us build this program. I think we have some really great opportunities to do some things here at Tiffin. I'll give some credit to Lonnie and the vision that he had with others when they decided to start the program. This is not maybe typical, not having our own facility and stuff like that, but we still have the ability to do some things that I think programs that do have their own facilities aren't able to do. So really happy and appreciative of what we have.
It's all about the quality of the student athletes you bring in to be a part of the program. And we've had some that started the foundation, because as you said, this is in its infancy really still. Yeah. So these kids are still really building the building blocks that are going to hopefully create something that's just fantastic on this campus.
Yeah. And speaking of,
two more. Who we got?
Quality athletes here.
Who do we have now?
We've got two people who seem to be laughing already.
All right.
But to my right is Morgan Dunleavy. She is our diver. She dove. She was third at NCAA's last year on 1 meter. And so, put that plug in now for her.
Awesome.
And then Logan Brucher has been here again in the past. He's one of our seniors as well.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for making time for us here at WTUD. Logan, welcome back to the studios. And Morgan, welcome in. So, hi guys. Thanks for coming in.
No problem.
All right, Morgan, let's start with you. She didn't even say hi. Did you see that, Coach?
I guarantee you she's a little nervous about what I'm going to say.
Well, these microphone things that we talk into sometimes clam people up real quick. But Morgan, we're going to start talking to you. First of all, congratulations on your success last year.
Thank you.
Being third in the 1 meter at the NCAA's. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
All right, and you're continuing diving this year. Let's talk a little bit about what you've been doing this year. Let's start with you finished off third at the NCAA. I'm sure that you took that summertime to think about the things that you need to do to improve yourself, to make yourself a better swimmer diver. Talk a little bit about what you did to get yourself prepared for this year and how you think your season's going so far.
Over the summer, I ended up actually getting hurt, so I didn't get to practice as much.
Oh, sorry to bring that up.
I get injured a lot. It's fine. I actually I help coach a club team, so being able to coach and help other kids kind of get to where they need to be helps me learn, because I look at what they're not doing correctly, and then I can think about it.
I was just going to ask you if that's something that you would use for yourself. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I help coach one of the high school teams here, so I even get that extra practice even after our practice, so that's a lot of fun. And then this season, I started off, I think I've competed twice, and then I got hurt again. But I'm getting back into the swing of things, and I'm doing all the dives I need to do in order to get back to where I was when I got third at NCAA's.
All right, we'll get back into the diving part. Let's talk about, just learn a little bit about you first of all. What's hometown?
I'm from Chicago, an hour north of it, in a little town called Libertyville.
Okay, I did my internship in Chicago, so I'm very fond. When I met my wife, she was living in Chicago. I got to do my internship out there, so very fun. I actually worked as a dog walker while I was doing my internship in Chicago. It was awesome. So let's get back to what we're here for. All right, Morgan, so you're a student athlete from Illinois. What brought you to Tiffin University?
I came on a visit to look at the team, and then I just kind of felt like I was at home here. Everyone was really nice, and the team was really funny, and I really liked Steve at that point in time, so that was really fun, and I wanted to have a good relationship with my coach.
And what are you studying here?
Forensic psychology.
And do you have any plans for after graduation? What year are you, first of all?
I'm a junior, and I plan on going to grad school and get my master's in counseling.
Okay, awesome. And you're hurt right now? Or are you back to being healthy right now?
Yeah, I'm back to being healthy.
Okay. Now, let's talk a little bit about your break. Did you were able to go back to Illinois, spend some time with family and friends over break?
Yes, I did go home. I spent it in Illinois. I never really left. I have family an hour away, so we spent Christmas Eve there.
Excellent.
And then we had people come to us for Christmas, and then I came back to school a little bit early to spend New Year's with teammates and stuff, and then my family ended up going to Georgia.
Okay. Now, are you competing this Friday?
I will not. Edinburgh does not have a dive team.
Okay.
That's
okay.
The one flaw with swimming against them, but that's all right. We'll hopefully have her there yelling and screaming and cheering.
Well, and then you'll be competing the following Friday though against Findlay, right?
Yes.
And we will be there to let your family and friends know. Hopefully, we'll be live video streaming there. We'll at least be doing a live radio broadcast from it. But if we are able to live stream there, we'll live video stream that entire meet. So make sure you share that with your family and friends. But all right, Logan, yourself, do you have a good break, man?
I did.
And what'd you do? Anything fun?
Besides, swimming just about every day, which I imagine Coach is happy to hear that. It was nice just to be done, after finals is over, school is out. It was nice just to have the break, see family, friends, just kind of one less thing to worry about.
You guys come back recharged, ready to go, excited to get back into your studying, all that good stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah? Sure. What was more exciting, to get back to the books or to get back to the pool?
Oh man, I just love them both.
This is what I deal with.
You coached them up. You coached them up before this, didn't you, Coach? Oh, goodness.
Downplay any expectations, right?
Absolutely.
Well, Coach, you said Morgan may be afraid of what you were going to say when she came on the air. So why don't you go ahead and expand on that a little bit?
I think they always are a little leery of what may come out of my mouth, because sometimes we don't always understand, what I'm trying to say and stuff. So, it's just always an amusing thing. And Morgan's one of those people where, once you start her laughing, it's pretty hard for her to actually stop.
She's been giggly since she got in here. So.
Absolutely. and it's pretty amusing to just kind of, needle at that a little bit and just kind of let her keep going on her own.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I needle too. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Yesterday during Dryland, that we were kind of having a conversation with a couple people on the team, and the best part about it was literally that Morgan was laughing so hard that somebody else was laughing so hard they couldn't do the ab work that we were doing.
Nice. But you're getting a pretty good ab work when you're laughing that hard as well.
Yeah.
So, Morgan, you've been a diver forever. Is diving something that always sparked your interest, or did you become a swim team member, then decided to get into the diving? How did it all work?
Actually, I was a competitive gymnast for 11 years, and then it started to really hurt my body. So then I saw diving because I was going into high school, so I dual trained for a year. And then I decided I liked diving a lot more, so I started just doing diving my sophomore year of high school.
So when I'm not sure who takes care of the cliff diving competitions that you see every once in a while on TV. Is that something you strive to do one day?
Oh goodness, no.
No, those people are a little bit loony, right?
Yes.
Right. So, talk to me a little bit about how the diving works at an event. I mean, what are the heights that you dive from? I don't know exactly how it works, and maybe some of our listeners don't too. So, I think you're the first diver who's come on and had a chance to talk about this. So, talk a little bit about how the diving works during the meet.
For a dual meet, it's a 6-dive format. So you do 6 of your optional dives. So that's the hardest dives that you can make look presentable and get really good scores on. So I do. And there's 5 categories, so I do 1 front, back, inward, reverse, and twist, and then I add in a 6th one. And then for a conference and NCAAs, it's an 11-dive format. So you do 2 of each, and then whatever category you're really good at, you do a 3rd in.
Okay, and if I remember correctly, it's not necessarily what you would consider dive, right? You don't have to go in head first. Is that true?
Correct.
Okay. And why I don't understand that. Explain that to me.
A lot of people, when I first started out diving from gymnastics, I really did not like the idea of landing on my head.
Okay.
It's I was landing on my head in
that's
gymnastics.
opposite of everything you've been trained.
So reteaching myself to land on my head was really hard, and then so going from doing one of my easier dives is a front 1.5 to then doing a 2.5. There's that middle step, which is a double. So then once you get used to doing a double, then you can do a 2.5, and it's just kind of progressions that you can just get scored on. I
always wonder, people, you can correlate this to people who do crazy stunts and too. What happened the first time you tried that, right? So can you harken back to any times the first time you tried a dive and it didn't go so well when you went into the water? Can you harken back to some of those and laugh at yourself back in the day?
Oh yeah.
2 weeks ago. I think that was the last time that you had to actually sit out for a little bit because of
Oh yeah.
Smack
in your face.
Yeah, I was doing a dive and I got freaked out in the middle of it, and I ended up bailing on it, and I smacked my face.
That's probably, I would assume that bailing on a dive is one of the last things you want to do. I would also assume that you better, when you get up there on that, if you're walking up the ladder, get on the board, you better be confident in what you're doing, because if you're not confident in what you're doing, you can do one little thing wrong, you're just going to make the whole dive go haywire.
Yeah, I've done that a couple times, but normally, I come out of the water laughing, because I go to a camp where, if you smack, everyone's, cheering for you. Yeah. So, that's what I do when I go to practice. I normally record it, and I'll put it on Snapchat, and then all the swimmers will watch it.
Yeah. Well, nobody does it perfect the first time, right? I'm sure there may be a few, but that's few and far between, that's for certain. All right, Logan, you competing Friday night.
Yes, I am.
What will you be competing in?
I met in backstroke and maybe something freestyle.
Okay, what's your expectations for yourself? We talked to the first 2 guys when they came in. You get you were doing all your work early on in the season. You take this break over the holiday, and you come back, and who knows if your expectations are, if you're going to be able to fulfill your own expectations. But you said you're in the pool every day. What are your expectations for yourself this Friday?
Well, I'm excited to just like compete again. I mean, it's been a while. It's been like a month since we went to Eastern Michigan, so it'll be nice to be able to see where I was there. Maybe give in comparison to where I am Friday. So just kind of like it'll say how much I did over the break or how much I've done since I've been back, and so I'll be able to see kind of where I'm at going forward into GLIACs.
And Coach, let's talk about what you expect out of your team this week. I know you said that it's a little bit light on the ladies' side, but overall on the team, you're still looking for, I'm assuming, progression as you're building towards these GLIAC meet.
Yeah, and I think that's where we're at as a team. Being a younger team still, not being able to always compete against schools that are well established. I think that's what we're looking for, is just that progression. Are we really setting ourselves up? Are we decreasing those simple little mistakes that we know we can do better with in practice? Not taking that huge breath on the turn, or not just getting sloppy with our stroke, or whatever it is, slowing down into the walls. Just really taking care of those things, constantly seeing that little progression. If we happen to get a little bit faster, then hey, even better. And for the most part, I think we've done that throughout the year, where everybody has just gotten a little bit faster, been technically a little bit better as well, and hopefully that'll continue here.
As what Coach said earlier, the Dragons swim and diving team will be on the road at Edinburgh this coming Friday, and then the following Friday home against Findlay, and we'll be right there with them. Coach, you got anything else for these two other student athletes before we let them get out the hot seat and get on with their day, get ready for practice?
No, I think I've scared them enough for now, and I think this is a good time to end. And then again, we'll be in the water in about a half an hour, so they can get out of here and get ready.
Well, I appreciate you guys, Morgan and Logan, both for coming in. Logan, great to see you again. You guys are always welcome to stop in. If you ever want to be a part of what we're doing over here, come see me as well, WTUD. But best of luck, continued success, and if we don't get a chance to see the one of you two before the Friday the 20th, we'll catch you out there at the home match home meet against Findlay. But best of luck this weekend and continued success. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
All right, thanks a lot, Russell.
Coach, thank you so much. Have yourself a great day, and we'll catch you next week.
All right, sounds good. See you.